Hello, I'm Lucia. I write a Bad Witches blog. I've been teaching candle magic workshops at Treadwell's bookshop in London for quite a few years. And I've also written this book on candle magic. Now, what I'm going to be talking about today is how to do a really simple candle spell, one of the very easiest spells you can possibly do, using things you're likely to have around the house already. But just because it's a very simple, easy spell doesn't mean it isn't effective. In fact, I do this kind of spell quite often. Now, what you need is a ordinary white tea light, or any kind of tea light really, but you're probably going to have a white one around the house somewhere. Something to put your tea light in. Now, I've got this little mini cauldron, which is kind of nice, but you don't have to have a cauldron. You can put it in just an ordinary tea light holder, a jam jar, a saucer. Really, it's just something to put it in so that it doesn't burn the table if you put it on the table. And some matches. So that's all you need. Now, first of all, before you start your spell, think about what it is you really want to wish for. It's kind of a really good idea to think about that quite carefully. But once you've thought about what it is you want to wish for, try to sum that up in just one word. So that could be love or success or health or well-being, or you might want to improve your finances. So you might sum that up as money or wealth. However, generally speaking, if you're talking about money spells, I would probably wish for the thing that I wanted to use the money for, to make it more direct rather than just money in general. So, for example, if I needed enough money to pay the rent, I would probably make a spell to get the rent paid rather than just a spell for money. It makes it more specific and more direct. And the reason why you sum it up in just one word, even though there's probably quite a few different aspects of that spell, is that by summing it up in just one word, you're kind of concentrating the magic. You're making it more powerful by making it more concentrated. So let's take the example of needing enough money to pay the rent. That could be the amount of money you need that you're thinking about. It could be the date that you have to pay it. It could be the fact that you really don't want to get into an argument with your landlord. It could be that you really like the flat you live in and you don't want to have to move. Now, all of those things are wrapped up in it, but really you're trying to concentrate it. One word: rent. You want to pay the rent. So what you do is once you've picked your word, you get your white tea light candle and you get a match, and you use the end of the match that is not the end that you use to strike to get a flame. And you carve your word into your candle around the top, clockwise ideally. If it's a really long word, perhaps abundance, you might struggle to get that around the top of a small candle. You can take the candle out of its little metal casing and carve the word around the edge of the candle because there's more space there, but do put it back into its casing afterwards. The reason why a tea light has a casing is that it will totally liquefy, and you don't want that going everywhere and making a mess. I mean, even if you've got it in a little candle holder, you'll then be gouging wax out of your little cauldron for some time to get it all clean again. Anyway, once you have put your word onto your candle, you put your candle into its candle holder, and then you're going to light it. Now, what you've been doing up to the point at which you actually light it is preparation. It's all an important part of the spell. It's kind of building up the energy towards casting the spell. It's getting your focus right. It's preparing all the items. But the moment that you actually light the candle is the moment that you're actually casting the spell, the moment you're sending your wish into the universe to get what you desire. So when you light your candle, at that point, you actually visualize what it will be like when your wish comes true. So you might visualize the moment at which you are sending the rent to the landlord. You might visualize handing the rent over to the landlord and him thanking you for it, but you visualize it actually coming true, it happening. So it could be you're visualizing what you want for the future. And you visualize that quite as strongly as you can. Then you light your match, and visualizing it, you light your candle. Then you put your tea light down and you let it burn down. Ideally, you let it burn down all in one go. The idea is that as it burns, your wish is sent out. But you don't have to sit there staring at it. Even a tea light candle will take a couple of hours, maybe 3 or 4 hours, perhaps even a little bit longer, to burn right down. So you've cast your spell, you leave your candle to burn down. You can do other things. You can do your work. You can make your food. You can eat your food. You can listen to music. Don't leave your candle unattended though, because really that's not safe to leave a candle unattended. If you do have to go away and leave your candle, then extinguish it before you go away. You can relight it later. You can visualize your wish coming true as you relight it again. But I do think it's better if you can leave it to burn down all in one go. It's kind of doing the spell in one go kind of gives it more oomph. When your candle is finished, when it's burnt down and gone out, then don't fret too much about it. Don't worry about whether it's going to work or not. Just go about your daily life and let the magic happen. Fretting about magic too much, wondering whether your spell will work or not, can fret away the magic. So just leave it to work, leave it to do its job. You've done your bit, let it happen. Now that's really all there is to a very simple candle spell, and it's perfectly effective. There are ways that you can make candle magic a lot more effective, but it won't necessarily make it more effective. I mean, you can get different colours of candles. Different colours have different symbolisms, sometimes called correspondences. It can tie in with planetary magic. You can use scented candles or use scented oils on your candle. You can roll your candle in oil and then sprinkle some dried herbs onto your candle with the right meaning or symbolism. You can put items on your altar next to your candle, perhaps pictures, perhaps flowers with the right symbolism, perhaps crystals you can put around your candle. There's all sorts of things you can do, but they're not essential. They won't necessarily make the spell work better. Quite often, just having a very, very strong visualization as you cast the spell is really all you need. You can also choose a time that when the moon is full is a good time to cast any kind of spell. But if something is very urgent, perhaps someone's been rushed into hospital and they've asked you to do a spell to send them get well wishes, then you're going to do it there and then. Doing it at the time that feels right is often more important than doing it at a time that is perhaps traditionally considered to be right for witchcraft. Anyway, that's really all there is to candle magic. As I said, you can make it a lot more elaborate, but you don't have to. Now, thanks ever so much for listening. If you want to buy my book, then you can order it from Treadwell's Bookshop online. You can order it from other online booksellers like Amazon or Waterstones. You can order it from the publisher's website. That's Moon Books. If you go to Moon Books' website, you can order it there. Anyway, Thank you again for listening, and I hope that all your wishes come true.